Hello everyone, welcome to my learning channel Knowledge Jam. In today's video, we're going to learn about organizational behavior. I'm going to introduce you to the organizational behavior. We're going to look at the various components and its importance in the organization. There are two components to organizational behavior. One is organizations and the second one is behavior. Let's look at what is an organization. Organizations are a group of people who regularly meet for work to achieve common goals in the workplace, whereas behavior is the way in which one acts or conducts oneself, especially towards others. Thus, the combination is organizational behavior. The study of organizational behavior is very interesting and at the same time very challenging for the managers. Organizational behavior is the study of human behavior in organizational settings, the interface between human behavior and the organizations, and the organizations itself. Thus, organizational behavior is the study and application of knowledge about how people act within the organizations. No two individuals are likely to behave in the same manner in a particular work situation. There are no absolutes in human behavior. It is the human factor that is contributory to the productivity of the organization, and hence this study is very important. Let us look at the various goals or objectives of organizational behavior. Managers under whom an individual is working should be able to explain, predict, evaluate, and control the human behavior of his team members. The first goal of OB is to describe how people behave under a variety of conditions. Organizational behavior or OB is a science that analyzes as to how people behave in different situations in the organization. A manager should be able to describe the behavior of each of the individuals under his command and should be able to pinpoint his behavior so that the situation in the organization is under control or can be corrected at the right time. For example, how will a particular employee behave under stress? Or when a quick decision has to be taken in the project, how would a particular employee do it? The second goal is to understand why people behave as they do. Leaders must understand human behavior as to why people behave in particular manner and try to identify the reasons so that corrective actions can be taken. There is always a particular reason or a need why which is related to a behavior of the human being, and the managers or the leaders should be able to understand that. The third goal is to predict the future employee behavior. By frequent closer interaction, a leader is in a position to identify the nature of workers or to understand their basic nature and attitude. Some are more productive while others are tardy and some are disruptive. In such situation, a manager should be able to handle each individual differently so that his or her actions can be channelized in the right way and towards the higher productivity for the organization. The fourth goal is to control partially the behavior of the employees. The managers must lay down control measures so that the energy of workers is diverted towards the organizational objectives. Appropriate internal environment would help the organizations to build such a controlled environment where the people can work freely at the same time within the boundaries of the set rules. Let us look at the various key elements of organizational behavior. The first element is people, which is the most important element in human resource or organizational behavior. Thus, people are the main components of any organization that has to be managed. People has two components again, individuals and groups. Individuals may have to keep their personal interest aside if it conflicts with the team. Thus, an individual may have different thought process about a particular work process or environment or the leader, but he will have to keep it aside and work towards the objectives of the organization. The second aspect is group. Groups are extremely important for achieving the goals of the organization. They help in achieving the goals in a better way than what an individual can do. As organizations are social systems, the behavior of individuals in groups has to be analyzed and channelized properly. The second key element is the structure. Organization structure is hierarchical in nature, with people at each level having their own objectives, which contributes towards the fulfillment of overall organizational objectives. Thus, an individual may have his own objectives, whereas the organization has its own objectives to be achieved. Thus, there has to be a synchronization between the individual objectives and the organizational objectives if a harmonial or a good environment has to be maintained. Structure depends on size, product, service, skill, and experience of the employees. Also on the geographical location. The leader should exercise control over systems, levels, plan productivity, and achieve the goals of the organization. The managerial and organizational levels are decorated by specific jobs as well as level to be incurred in structural design. The rights and responsibilities are also being determined in a particular group or structure. The third element is jobs. Job is an assignment which is given to an individual. Job will have various tasks and activities which are inbuilt in it. Nothing motivates workers better if you give them their entitlement in full and train them to take up higher jobs. Managers must be transparent in their behavior, maintain a high degree of value systems and ethical behavior while carrying out the various tasks and jobs at hand. The third key element is technology. The technology represents all the resources with which people work and affects the task that they perform. The role and utilization of technology has a significant influence on the performance of people and thereby achieving the perfections in the betterment of interactive behavior. The fourth element is the environment. Environment has two aspects again, internal environment and external environments. All the organizations obtain within internal and external environments. The existence, structural design, work performance, mutual relations, behavioral patterns are duly influenced by the internal environment factors. Whereas external environment has policies of the government, rules and regulations, customers, suppliers, competition, in today's world, social pressure, and many other things which are important in managing the organizational behavior. The last aspect is processes. Management of processes and its interdependence is very crucial to high productivity and higher job satisfaction. What is important for the manager is to ensure high morale of the workforce, select appropriate subordinates to carry out a job which is based on aptitude, personality trait, mental build-up, and attitude of the employees. After we have studied the key elements, let us look at a case study on organizational behavior. The case study is about the heroes of the Taj Hotel and why they risked their lives to save their customers. The case study tells us about how organizational behavior is important as a part of human resource management. There is a quiz which is attached, which is based on the introductory chapter of organizational behavior. I request you all to kindly take up the quiz. The link is given in the description box below.